go. Hey guys, my name is Katie. I wanted to share something with everybody that I've been going through, and I just hope it can help a few other people. I wanted to talk about the nightmare that is Demodex, and in particular I am talking about the kind on your face, on your skin, the ones in your pores, not the ones in your eyelashes, which I found was had quite a bit of knowledge, but when I suffered with Demodex on my face, I had nowhere to turn, and basically spent 2 years of my life in a living hell, a nightmare, and didn't have anywhere to turn. I had to do all of my own research to try and combat this bug, and it was the most horrendous thing I've ever gone through in my entire life. If you are suffering from this, I completely believe you. I had nobody, pretty much, maybe my mum kind of a little bit, but even she dipped in and out a little bit. Everybody thought I was fucking crazy, and I know it sounds crazy when you tell people you can feel bugs under your skin, scratching at bugs. Doctors, you know, look at you like you're nuts. Your friends and family look at you like you're a fucking lunatic. But I had bugs. I had these little things, and I couldn't explain it. I couldn't find any knowledge hardly on the internet. But I wanted to do this video for a little while now, and the reason I'm wanting to do it is because I obviously have a bit of time now, quarantine, right? We're all in quarantine. So I thought, as a way to give back, to help everybody that has helped me, I would like to share some things, and I've kind of condensed it. So if you are suffering with this horrendous fucking nightmare, you can hopefully get something out of this, and will take you less time to get a bit of a better result and have a bit of a recovery, as opposed to basically 2 or 3 years, or God knows how long it takes you to scrape together all the info that you need from bits and pieces from different parts of the internet. I know I was about 30 pages, 30 tabs across with 20 pages deep on each of them, trying to find a cure, and it took me so long to get relief. As I said, this has been a nightmare for me. My skin looks pretty good now, I think. I will show you guys some photos of what it looked like before. I'm just not very techie, so I will have to ask someone how to help me with that. I want to upload some things, and I'm going to do this as like a little bit of a series. There is so much information to give you, and I would like to kind of condense them into little, maybe, I don't know, segments, or whatever, little things, so I'm not just not talking forever, because I know what it's like when you have nowhere to start, and doctors and, as I said, your nearest and dearest look at you like you're mad. So I hope this helps somebody, and if you have questions, please just let me know. I would love to help anyone I can. By no means am I a doctor. I have no medical knowledge, nothing. This is all just little remedies that I found either on the internet, and research that I've done, reading on my own, and as I said, little things have worked for me and other things haven't. I've had to sort of put things together, and it's taken me quite a bit of time. I've had about 2 years or so to do my research, because my face was that bad, with pustules, and you will see, as I said, when I can get these photos up, I can't even explain, like oozing, my open sores of oozing orange gunk that I looked like a monster, basically, and I didn't know what was wrong, so I've had to do my own research. So hopefully this will help you guys. I just wanted to talk about a few products, maybe just for the first little bit now. I'm going to see how this goes, see if I get any responses. and hopefully this helps, but I would like to do some more because there are a lot of little things that have helped me at different times depending on the severity of the outbreak, I guess you could say. And some things work together, some things I would do separately. So it just kind of depends on your state that you're in, you poor thing. So here we go. So these are just some things that everyone probably can get easy access to, or they maybe have them around the house kind of already, or they're not too hard to find. Because there were some things that I live in Australia, so to source a few things was difficult. When I was watching videos and doing research, other countries had things over there that I couldn't get in Australia, so I've had to then research other things that would complement, you know, the remedies that they were offering. So the first one I want to go over, which in terms of just cleansing your skin, actually let's back up. So the way I knew I had something that wasn't a normal skin condition, I'll never forget, there was this one night and I felt, you know, like when you can feel like a blind pimple kind of coming through on your face, and you feel it and you feel like, oh, you think, oh God, I want to bust that, like I want to pop that. And I had this pimple, like this little weird pimple thing up near my, well, it was blind, it didn't have like a little head on it. I could feel this lump, like a little lump near my, sort of the back of my hairline. And I was like pressing it, and I thought, I want to squeeze that. And I went to go and squeeze it. And it was like orange, like bright orange, like I'm talking like a fluoro pen, a fluoro orange color, orange. I've never seen anything like it, of this gunk that squirted out when I sort of popped it and like oozed out. And it was sticky. The consistency was like a honey, like a thick, sticky orange. The color is like orange gunk. I've never, ever seen anything like that. It wasn't pussy, it wasn't like a pimple, like an abscess or like a boil, or like nothing like anything you've ever seen. It was orange and it was thick, like sticky, like honey. And I was like, I just knew, I said, what the hell is this? Like, this is just, something's not right here. So I sort of didn't think anything of it. And then slowly after that, as I said, this was a couple of years ago now, slowly after that, my skin started to progressively get worse and worse. And it went all down here. I had big, like welts, kind of welt things that would ooze this gunk. And everyone just, in the beginning, it would just look, everyone just thought it was acne. I had like a bad case of adult acne. I mean, I'm 34 now, but I was probably about 30-ish at the time, maybe give or take a little bit. And everyone's just said, your skin, you're just having a reaction. It's a bit of acne, like it will go. Even though in my heart, I knew these weren't pimples. I knew these weren't pimples. This stuff was sticky orange gunk. My diet's pretty healthy, hey. I mean, I don't eat anything too unhealthy. I'm not by any means like a gym junkie, like a health nut, but I am definitely, I think, quite healthier compared to the average person. But I still have, you know, a bit of junk every now and then. But I knew this wasn't acne. I knew this wasn't anything to do with my diet, like, because I've had, you know when you just know, you know. So and then what happened was I was getting like nibbles. I could feel like little pinchy, I can't explain the feeling, like as if I was getting pinched by little bugs, basically, under my skin. Just my face as well. The thing with mine, and as I said, I'll show you these photos when I can upload my next one. Mine was just literally from the jawline up, and it was my face. Nothing on the neck, like too far down, nothing on the body. It was just my face. And it would bite. These things were biting me. I kept doing research at that time because I knew something wasn't right. as I said, I started to go to dermatologists. They prescribed me cream. I started to go to, you know, doctors, same thing, creams and lotions, you know, skin clinics. Nobody said anything. Like, everyone just thought, oh, that nobody did anything. Nobody took scrapings. Nobody did anything in the beginning. And I almost went fucking crazy because I knew something was biting me, and as I said, by the end of it, my skin, oh my god, yeah. I will show you photos. It was horrendous. It was fucking horrendous. I looked like a monster. Couldn't work for about 2 years. I became a recluse. I was so sad and miserable. I would have flare-ups where they would, the doctors would, I'd have to go to hospital because my head was so big, because these things were getting under my skin, and I was actually having allergic reactions as well. This is down the track, because they were so infested in my skin, in my pores, that, you know, any little things that got in there, dust particles and things, I'd react. I mean, I have kind of allergies anyway, but I was reacting, my head would blow up, and doctors couldn't work out what it was, thought it was just a staph infection, something in my environment, blah, blah, blah. Had more tests. Everything kept coming back negative. So as I said, I don't want this to be, like, I'm already 11 minutes. I don't want this to be too long yet. I just kind of want to get on with it. I will go back over my ailments in the next video, and I'll explain more things in depth when I can go, you know, I just don't want to talk about my own stuff too much. I want to help you guys. So I will get on with this now, and we can go over that in the next one, what actually happened to me, but it was horrendous. I know I can't use I can't even use another adjective. It was the most fucked up thing that has ever happened to me in my life. It's nearly cost me my life because I was so miserable, sad, depressed. I became a recluse. I couldn't go to work because my face was so disfigured, I guess you could say, from these ulcer things that were weepy, and as I said, and then everyone thought I was fucking nuts because I kept telling them there's something in my skin. Everyone thought I was fucking crazy, which didn't help. And then I started to wonder if I was going crazy, and yeah, I believe you is what I'm trying to say. If you think you have this, I totally believe you, and I just hope I can give you something that will give you some kind of relief, okay, initially. So as I said, let's get on with it, and we will talk about my stuff in another video. But initially, if you've done a bit of research and you've started to look at things on the internet and maybe started to cotton on something's not right, you know, there's different, as I said, I didn't come up with these. A lot of these I've taken from other websites, but I'm just kind of putting them all together. These are things that just helped me, okay? So if you know that you have these bugs, the first one I'd say is have a look at earthclinic.com. Helped me initially to start getting an idea of these things, especially if you go on the tab on the side, Ted from Bangkok's remedies were a really good starting point for me. And the biggest one that I would say to start with initially, because when you have that infestation and their bugs are they're under your skin, you need to get them out. You've got to get them out. You've got to get them out. A lot of things that you can do topically, like there's different oils and things you can do, and essential oils and other things that I've got here. But the initial one is you've got to get them out. So Ted from Bangkok, and other people on Earth Clinic, you will see if you look on their comments. What I would suggest is starting here with, actually the first one I would do, because you need to cleanse your skin first, is Castile soap. Dr. Bronner's, obviously cult following, but this stuff, one of the best things to help combat these bugs. I think the reason is because the Castile, where is it? Hang on, what's the actual ingredient? The coconut oil and the coconut oil, and then there's something else. The olive oil, the hemp oil. Basically what these do, the oils, they suffocate the bugs. So when you wash your face, and especially like in your ears and things like that too, don't forget about your ears, this kills bugs. They suffocate, okay? Especially this one, this is really good, the peppermint one, because it takes away their, like they don't like the smell of peppermint. You've probably seen a lot of stuff too about tea tree oils and as well, tea tree oils to kill Demodex. I found personally it didn't help me as much as peppermint. Peppermint and other oils, oregano oil, which I'll go over in a moment, were godsends. But they do tea tree oil one of this, definitely give it a go. But I found the peppermint one was the best for me. And you'll notice when you put it on your face, on the area that you're suffering with, it foams up, like, because there's it's like they suffocate initially. I can't explain it. And then when you do it on other areas where you have none of these bugs, you'll notice it just goes on smoothly and fine and just like normal soap. But when there's something that's not quite right, as I said, I'd wash my face, especially in my ears. I had them as well. My ears would, there'd be like foams of bubbles coming out of I felt like you could just feel it straight away. It was killing them. This was really, really good. Castile soap. Castile. Doesn't have to be this brand, but Castile soap, a godsend. Okay, so that to cleanse twice a day. All right. Next one, and this is the big one. This stuff, oh my God, saved my life. So borax. Again, probably read in a lot of other sort of, facets of the internet. When you go down the rabbit hole, borax was fantastic. So this is tricky to get in parts of the world. This is a natural cleaning product. You will find people use it that don't want to use harsh chemicals like bleach, use this stuff to clean their house. And this is where I came unstuck initially, because Ted in his remedies on earthclinic.com, Ted from Bangkok, says to ingest this as well as apply it topically to your face. So the topical treatment I'll talk about too, but you also need to ingest it, even though it does say on the bottle, do not ingest. It is a natural product. Some of these can be man-made, but it is in very small doses. I have not had a problem with it. I'm still here. But you need to treat these bugs inside as well as out. As I said, I don't want to go on too much. In this video, I will talk about the gut health you need to do to internally get rid of these bugs, but that will be a whole separate video. There's lots of supplements you can take that helped, and other little things you can ingest that will definitely help. Garlic is another one. I've got a knob of garlic here just to remind myself of all the things I need to talk about, but garlic is another one, but we'll save that for the next video. So Castile soap first, wash your face twice, give it a good rinse. Now borax, as I said, the actual quantities of this Ted talks about in his little blog on earthclinic.com. So borax and hydrogen peroxide, you guys know what they are, that is. You mix that. I used to just take the lid off of my, again, it depends where they are on, I've read stories of people that have had them in their pubic regions, growing out of the follicles of their hair in the pubic regions. Obviously, if you've got them on your eye, it just depends where you have these bugs, as to the size of the amount that you need to use. What I would do is I would pour, a small amount into the lid, to feel, I don't know, maybe a tablespoonful, maybe a tablespoon, or a teaspoon and a half, something like that. And I would then pour the hydrogen peroxide. Now you want, now I can't remember this off the top of my head, but I think it's like 1 part hydrogen peroxide to 2 parts distilled water. And the hydrogen peroxide is 3%. You do not need anything stronger. That's the lowest amount you can get. You don't need the 6%, you don't need the 9% to kill the bugs. And I know you think, shit, I want to like zap these motherfuckers, I'm gonna get the stronger one. You don't need it. I promise you don't need it, and you'll just burn the hell out of your face. Okay, so don't think you're going to do yourself a favor by going stronger. You actually won't. You'll burn the shit out of your face, basically. So you will pour your borax, you know, sit like a table. It just depends on how much you need. But again, Ted's got the measurements. It's a bit more specific, but borax, distilled water, 2 parts, and then 1 part of the hydrogen peroxide, okay? And you make a little solution. Now, you can do it in a spray bottle if you like. I would just do it in a lid, and I would use cotton pads, and I would dab it. And if you have an initial infestation where the bugs are there and they're present and they're alive, and you again, you guys, I'm sure you've done a bit of research, they're little tiny microscopic little bugs. If they're actively on your face, this solution burns. I know I said burns before about the stronger peroxide. It burns, but in a different way, because you're killing the bug, and there's you know, I kind of like, it just comes up the skin. It brings them right out of the skin. I think the bubbles get in there, and it just gets them to come up through the pores. This, initially, you're gonna go, oh my fucking god, what the fuck has she just told me to do? Oh, I can't explain the feeling after though. It's a bit sore initially because you got to get them out. You got to get them out. You do a layer of it, and it takes a couple of seconds for it to start working. But then, boom, you can feel them getting they're getting in your pores. You can feel, and you can kind of almost, I don't know, hear them or something. And they start to run, and they run out of your pore, and then they start to fizz up and sizzle. So they basically are starting to die on your face. Initially, they are going, it's gonna, yeah, hurt. Depending how infested you are, how deep down they are, and how many eggs and things that they've got down there to get it all out. I would probably say when I was having really bad lots of it, maybe the first 3 or 4 days of doing this twice a day, morning and night, was, I would kind of scream a little bit for maybe the first 30 seconds or so, because you're getting them out. You're actually killing them, and you're getting them out, and you go, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. But after that, maybe after the first 3 or 4 days, you still need to keep doing it with the borax, keep the routine going, because you need to kill all the eggs that are there, okay? So that is something you need to do for maybe 3 months after, with the borax and the hydrogen peroxide. Every day, you can't stop. The eggs are so deep embedded in your pores. If you stop, again, it might take a couple of weeks, but then you will get it again. And this is where I came unstuck, because I kept stopping. I didn't realize I had to keep doing this, or I kept thinking, oh, my skin's looking much better now. I can relax on all these harsh kind of products. No. As I said, it took me 2 years to work this out, and I couldn't work out why I kept getting reinfested. You have to do this all the time, and especially the hydrogen peroxide, because the bubbles get into the pores and gets the eggs out. So you need to get the eggs out. As I said, Ted explains this better in his blog on Earth Clinic, but these two, massively. And as I said, pretty easy to get your hands on. Washing detergent aisle, I think you can get it, or the washing, you know, where you get your laundry products or washing up products. Can't remember, different countries, different rules, but this one, hydrogen peroxide and the Castile soap to start with, fantastic. Okay, cannot explain enough. Just to start with this will help immensely. Again, I'm getting really long now with this video. Another thing you can do to help initially as well, I found, is you have to think like a bug, okay? Like a bug. And what don't bugs like? Salt water, okay? So I was using the pink Himalayan salt, but you can also use just regular salt, okay, if you have. I found this stuff really good, salt baths. I would probably, if my skin was, and again, these things took me ages to work out, guys. It wasn't something that I was able to just, you know, chop. This took a long time, months, if not, as I said, about 2 years till I was rid myself of these little demons to work all this stuff out. So I don't know how often you should be doing the salt baths. It depends on the severity. But if you're having a really bad, like if you're at your wit's end and you need some relief, and you'll know what I mean when you think these things are biting you, the relief, you would do anything just to get them to stop. So the salt baths are another good thing because you need to open up the pores. So you can have a really hot bath or shower initially with the soap, okay, get it all cleaned off. You've got to do this first though, because you've got to get the dirt off and open the pores to get this other stuff into the pores, okay? And I will do another video on just bath remedies because there's other things you can do like magnesium flakes. Use magnesium, don't use Epsom salts. Magnesium is much stronger, but yeah, other things you can do in the baths, but I will have to save that for another video as well. But I'm just trying to, again, give you guys some instant relief initially, and then we can go into other things after. Pink salt I found was a godsend as well. I would do this maybe like initially if it's a bad you know, reaction of a bad outbreak of the bugs, I would do every day, maybe for the first week or so, and then you can do it every sort of third day or whatever, every second day, third day, something like that, because it does dry your skin out a lot. But the bugs live on the oil, they're in the oil glands, and that's basically what they eat, is your sweat, okay, and the dirt and dead skin cells and things in your pores. That's what they want to eat. And the reason that you break, I'm sure you guys have started to research if you're in that much agony. The reason you get all these, you know, ulcers and whatever you want to call these lesion things is because the bugs, they don't have an anus. So their life cycle is about 2 weeks. So when they eat all your dead skin, they can't poo and they just die. So all of their, you know, their own poo in their little body, the poo that's in their body, and all the dead skin and things that they've eaten off your, you know, from your dead skin cells, it just festers in your pores. And I said, if you're doing all these things that are just topically, you're not getting in there. This is why you keep having the reactions, okay? And you're not breaking up the life cycle, because then the larvae that are underneath, when the eggs hatch, they just eat all that again, and they just eat the mum and the dad and the poo, and it just keeps going, okay, the cycle. So you've got to open up your pores. So hot baths, and I would put in a lot of salt initially to kill them. I would say, again, it depends how big your bath is too. Maybe a pack like this, like how much is this? This is 1 kilo of salt. I probably put in maybe half a kilo. Okay, but again, I know finances and things like that too. Maybe even a third of this, but a good whack of it, hey, initially, and fill your bath right up, and just lay underneath all of the parts of your body as much as you can. Now, because mine was on my face, it was a bit tricky because I'd have to put my face in the water. You know, I'd put it in for like, however long I could hold my breath, 10, 20 seconds, come up, breathe a little bit, again, back under, and I just kept doing this for 40 minutes, 50 minutes, however long, an hour, however long I could bear it for, because you can't just do it for I mean, again, it'll help if you can only do it for 5 or 10 minutes, but the longer you can sit in there and with quite warm water, again, you've got to open those pores up, warm to quite hot, and get that salt in and keep getting it in, okay? Now, you have to be careful though, because the salt dries dehydrates you, dries your skin out and actually dehydrates you. So I had moments when my skin was so bad in the bath that, and because I was whacking in so much of this stuff initially because I was in agony, that after maybe 20 minutes or 15 minutes or so, I was so thirsty because it just really dries you out and dehydrates you. I was so thirsty and I would almost faint, and I'd have to sort of yell out to mum or sister or whoever, you know, please bring me some water or something, because I was that dehydrated I would almost faint. So just be careful. maybe again start with a little bit less salt, or maybe don't have the water so hot, or have some water there with you. Because I had moments, yeah, where I nearly fainted a few times in the bath because I was that dehydrated. But again, I was in agony and I needed relief, and this would help. Okay. Again, there's other concoctions I've got as well for the baths, but I will talk about those in another video. But salt is a massive one. Salt's a really good one. And then one more thing I just wanted to go over as well initially is Diatomaceous Earth. Now, I've got that. Now, mine's in a Tupperware container, but if you guys Google, it's just a white powder. If you Google Diatomaceous Earth, this, again, is in my top 5 of best products to combat these monsters. So Diatomaceous Earth is a powder. As I said, it comes in pet grade, which is what you don't want. You want the pharmaceutical grade that's safe for human consumption. And what it is it's a little, I'll put some on my hand, but again, you guys can research this stuff as well. I'm sure you have already. It's a little white powder. It's thick. It's kind of like flour or cornstarch, but it is so different to flour and cornstarch. This again saved my life. It is particles from the sea, basically dead particles of little fossiled animals or fossilized organisms, basically, that have, over millions of years, they've, fossilized and they sit on the seabed. But it's basically one of the purest forms of silica that you can get. And if you ever notice like filtration systems and things for like pools, or in like cattle as well, like in the animal world, in the cattle, if you're raising cattle around a farm, filtration systems, things like that, they actually use the Diatomaceous Earth because it's an actual anti sort of bug repellent. It's a dewormer, kills bugs, many different types of bugs, dust mites. You can use it for around the house. You can actually sprinkle this stuff all over your house to kill, unwanted pests around the home. Again, you can do your own research on that. I will do a house video as well, because there's certain things in your environment that you will need to do as well to help rid of the bugs. But Diatomaceous Earth, I would take that in a big glass of water throughout the day. Okay, so you can sip it throughout the day, or because it does taste a bit like dirt, it tastes like you're drinking dirt. A tablespoonful twice a day, but I'm so used to it now, I just do my tablespoonful in like half a glass of water. I can just shot it. Okay, but it's quite thick and grainy, and it's not the nicest tasting thing, but it's definitely not the worst tasting thing. It just tastes like you're drinking sand or dirt. Okay, whatever. You're in agony, who cares, right? You do anything. But the other bigger thing with this is that not only do you drink it, and the little shape of the particles, they're like little hexagons, like a honeycomb, and you can't see it, but microscopically, what they do is when they get on the inside, they go down your intestines and things, and because they're negatively charged, any bugs in your gut, and again, I'll do a whole video about the internal that you need to do, but anything that's like a nasty in your gut, it will be drawn to it because it's negatively charged. So it will, any of the nasty stuff on the gut wall or the gut lining will stick to it. And then when you go to do a wee or poo, it will come out in your urine or feces. So you're detoxifying internally. But if you actually also get a little brush, like a makeup brush, and just dip it in, and then again, just dust it on your face or area, wherever you've got issues. Dry, has to be dry if you're going to do it topically. Kills the hexagon shape, that honeycomb shape will cut the bugs without hurting your skin. Again, do your own research on that. When you actually look at Diatomaceous Earth, again, Earth Clinic's got a lot of stuff. There's other websites that I've looked at as well, natural remedies for killing bugs. This stuff helps massively. just to get instant relief. That doesn't get them out all the way in your pores, but if you want to be able to sleep through the night and just get a good night's sleep, or as I said, mine was so bad that I had to stop work. I couldn't work because my face was all big and swollen and oozing goop and gloop and whatever. But to get instant relief, or when I say even instant, it would also actually last for a couple of hours. This stuff will kill the ones that it comes into contact with initially. Won't kill the eggs and the the ones that are underneath further down in the pore, but the ones that are on the top swimming around or sliding all over your skin will come into contact with those ones, and it will kill those ones, okay? Because that hexagon shape cuts the bug, okay? Their exoskeleton, and it actually cuts them. And I would put this over everywhere. Sometimes I would feel them running in my hair as well. I would douse my head in that. You've got to be careful though with this stuff. It doesn't matter even if you drink it or even if you do it as a powder. The dust from it, when you mix up a drink or even just using it dry, the dust, you don't want to get up your nose, because it is, as I said, the particles are, I don't want to say sharp because it's not the right word, but you don't want to inhale them and get it in your lungs, and you don't want to get them up your nose. If you get a tiny bit, don't panic. I mean, it's fine, but really try and avoid it if you can, because you just don't know what it could, you don't want it to go into your, basically the reading I've done, you don't want it to go into your lungs, okay? It's not the best to have in your lungs. I'm sure there's a tiny bit that's gotten in mine from using it for 2 years, but I'm still here, it's fine. But if you can avoid it, definitely avoid it. Put some little nose plugs in and try not to breathe it in, okay? But if you've got them in your hair, the bugs running through your hair, douse it all over your head. As I said, I use my little makeup brush. Synthetic makeup, you don't want a natural head one, and I'll go over that as well too later, but just something synthetic. The bugs like natural fibers, and you always have to do the opposite of what they like. So if they like natural fibers, you use a synthetic one, because you don't want them breeding in your brushes and then putting them back onto your skin once you've gotten rid of them. So I would douse it all over my face, and I would do that multiple times a day, okay? And I'd do a thick layer because I was at home, I couldn't go anywhere anyway. But if you're at it, maybe if you're still able to go to work and you can still kind of function in society, and you just have a little bit of powdering, you can't see it. It goes on white initially, but then it goes clear. If you rub it in, you can't see it. So you could actually wear it as a powder, and nobody would know if you're out at work or out with whatever, doing whatever. So to take that one internally and as a powder, again, massively saved my life. And the last one I just wanted to talk about really quickly, because we're at 37 minutes, is apple cider vinegar, okay? Now mine's just in a little bottle because this is a little tonic I've made up for myself. But we all know the one with the mother, okay? You want the one with the mother. Again, like the Diatomaceous Earth, this is something you need to take internally, but you can also use it topically on your skin for instant relief. So, is it Bragg's? We know the Bragg's one, the really good one, Bragg's organic apple cider vinegar with the mother. Give it a good shake. It says on the bottle how much to take on a daily basis. I don't know, a couple of tablespoons a day. And Ted talks about this too in Earth Clinic. Couple of teaspoonfuls of that, or a tablespoonful of that in water, once or twice a day initially, to kill the bugs on the inside. But I also was doing mine topically as well, okay? And again, you have to work out the order to do your little regime in, because nothing I say is going to suit everybody. It depends on what level of your severity of this bug is at. So apple cider vinegar, now mine's just got, so this was, what have I got there? 1/3, so I did 1/3 apple cider vinegar with 2/3 of distilled water, okay? And then I've just got some sprigs of rosemary in there, fresh organic rosemary from the garden. So just to take the smell away, okay? Just a little bit, you can put a little bit of basil in there, or whatever, lavender or something. That's fine as well, because herbs and natural oils kill bugs as well. So this can burn a little bit though, stings a little bit, not burn, it will sting a little bit. So don't go too crazy. Maybe even if you're starting, that's a third. That bottle, I don't even know how big that bottle was. But even if you just, you know, do a tiny bit, even if you just did something like that and had the rest with distilled water just initially, because when your bugs are active, they hate this stuff, and again, it will sting because you can feel them. Once you start trying to kill them, they're going to try and bite you because they don't like what they feel, okay? Because they know you're closing in on them. So again, this is going to sting a little bit, so don't go too crazy. Don't go using this undiluted, you will burn your face. But I am at the point now where I use 1/3 to 2/3 of water. You know, I don't think you need much more than that. I wouldn't go half and half even. I think that still even is too strong. But yeah, you could even go less, like 1/4 or whatever, 1/5, okay, and have the rest with water because it's still quite potent. Spray that on, spray it all over, wherever the bugs are biting. But again, instant relief. It might sting a little bit initially while they die, but again, it doesn't get deep down into the pore, but it will kill the ones on the surface, okay? But apple cider vinegar would be my top 5 as well. Okay, that's the last one I just wanted to talk about. So I hope this helps. I know I'm talking really fast because there's so many other things I want to talk to you guys about. Other different clays and charcoals, and I've got a few things here, but I'm already at 41 minutes now, so I'm going to stop. I hope this helps. Any questions, please ask, guys. I suffered alone for so long, and I can't even begin to tell you the nightmare that this was for me. So if I can just help somebody, that's all I care about. Any questions, please let me know, or clarification on things. As I said, I know I'm talking a million miles a minute, but I will definitely do more of these videos because it is a very dense topic. But I hope this helps. I hope this helps from the bottom of my heart. And yeah, I will get back to you guys with some more little remedies to offer relief in other ways as well. All right, thanks guys, bye.